Trading the foreign exchange market carries high risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Trading on margin, utilizing leverage can carry an even higher level of risk that can lead to a complete loss of investment funds. So before deciding to trade the foreign exchange market or using any of our software alert products, you should carefully and diligently consider your personal investment objectives, level of experience, and risk tolerance. There is a possibility that you could potentially sustain significant loss. You should not invest any capital or trade that you cannot afford to lose. It is your responsibility to be aware of and understand all risks associated with foreign exchange trading and to seek professional advice from an independent certified financial advisor if you have any doubts. Auvoria Prime does not exercise trading authority over your trades. You and you alone exercise discretionary trading authority over every trade.
And we do have a CPI report at 8:30 today on the Canadian dollar. Be aware of that. We'll try to remember to mark that on the charts at around 8:30. CPI reports have been rather volatile, so keep that in mind. Be careful with that one. And later on at 2 o'clock this afternoon, there's some FOMC meetings. Those are red folders, and 9:30 later tonight in the evening session with the Aussie dollar. So keep in mind, the one we're primarily looking at is the 831, and there's an orange folder, crude oil inventory reports. Sometimes the crude oil inventory reports can cause the Canadian dollar to be rather volatile as well. So just keep that one in mind. So 8:30 and 10:30 are the big ones for this morning. And we go to our heat map, and right now, the U.S. dollar was the strongest across the board. It is starting to lose a little bit of strength on the higher time frame. Again, we have the 1 hour. We've got 4 different time frames on this chart, and the upper left one is the 1 hour. The upper right is the 30-minute. So these are our higher time frames. And then the ones we're primarily interested in with the scalping are going to be the 15, which is the lower left, and the 5-minute, which is the lower right. I was looking at the British Swiss, the CAD Swiss. The CAD's starting to show a little bit of strength. If you look at this chart right here, you'll see that, if I can pop this up here, you'll see the CAD is it's the orange one here, and it came down, and now it's starting to work its way back up a little bit. So I'm looking at that's maybe gaining a little bit of strength. We have a nice spread. We have a 5-point spread on the 15-minute chart with the Canadian dollar and the Swiss franc. So that gives us the ability to take the trade if we see a trade. And I did see one earlier as it was coming up. This was, actually, I think what I did was wasn't already closed out on me? We had a nice little 5-minute close above the green Fibonacci. The 5-minute close on this candle came back. It should be coming back right now and to pull back in. It did hit the green, which is our 7-pip target away. So right now we're within at 72.54 and 72.53.6-ish. So we're right at our spread. Be careful, we have a 2.6 spread on this one right now. But as we're looking now, and we did have a little flop switch right here, the Canadian dollar on the 5-minute chart is still gaining strength to the Swiss. We're having a pullback. This is indicating the pullback where the Swiss is now a little bit stronger on the 5-minute chart as it's pulling back from this strong move up. So right, we're getting a pullback, starting to come into our zone, and we can be taking, and I'm okay taking this trade. Stop, 15 stop, 7-pip target, 2%, and do a buy. I'm just going to do a, let's see, do I want to do a market or I want to buy limit here? I think I'm going to do it. The fact that the Swiss is showing strength, I'm going to do a buy limit, see if it'll come in to get my target of, I'm going to use 72.54 is what I'm going to use for a limit order. 72.54. Right about there, buy limit, and I'll see if we get filled on that. I'm okay with that because we have a nice 6-point spread on the 5-minute. We have a 5-point spread on the 15-minute. Strong push up, coming back, pull back. This is a nice little rally, a little bit of a basing area in here, and looking at it to go and see if it can get me into this trade. And the fact that it already hit the green line, which tells me it did go up 7 pips. It's a 7-pip retracement, which is very common. It would get you pretty much, if you got into trade here, which you probably should not have done because you wait for it to pull back to the green line. But this is a nice little pullback, should be able to get our 7-pip target. So what we're looking at right now is on the 15-minute chart. Here's our 2-minute fib line. So here's our first 7, there's 14, and then we should be coming on up to the next green line. So the price action that we're looking at on this trade is coming up here. Here's the entry coming in, which we're looking at right now. An entry, target 1, target 2, target 3. Now with each of these targets, if it hits the red line, you can buy back in. In fact, if you did get in for some reason, you took your profits, you can get back in here. Once it goes up to the green line, take your profit out. If it goes up to the red line, on the pullback, you can re-enter on the pullback, use that for the target, or even go up to the, I wouldn't do it more than 3 times, 3 waves before I would be just letting it go and being done with it. If it breaks on the red line, now you're getting up in the upper 25% of your whole move. You're getting up near this 15-minute blue line, so you got to be careful with that. But right now, this looks like it's a good trade. The Canadian dollar is strong to the Swiss franc, having a strong move up, having a pullback, and now looking for our targets. Any questions on that maneuver? So and right now we're still waiting in this, I got 2 trades. I don't need, I know what this is. I'm gonna take that one off. Let's see, take profit is gonna be up here. Okay, on the pullback, take profit right here at the green line. Make sure I follow my charts here. And then the stop should be well below down here. So if it comes down and we start getting getting some higher time frame closes below the green line, then I'll be looking at getting out of this trade with a small loss. Okay. Any questions on that? Go back to our heat map and see if there's anything else we can be maybe looking at. And let's see, we got the US dollar is still strong. We could shoot for the US Swiss. Swiss seems to be the weakest one, and the New Zealand dollar is also weak. So right now I'm kind of liking the Swiss rather than the New Zealand. So we can, let's see, US Swiss. So I'm going to go and there's our trade there. I'm going to make another duplicate copy. I'm going to pull up the US Swiss. There's the US Swiss. I'm going to maneuver this, make sure we got a this down here a little bit. Check out our charts and see what we have here. Let's go on a 15-minute chart. Here's our 15-minute blue line. Right now it's bouncing right off this 15-minute blue line. You can see where it had a nice little rally, basing. And we'll see if it can poke its nose up through here. Right now the 15-minute blue is holding. And if we look and see where this whole move came from, we see that it's a nice strong move down for the last couple of days. And now it's looking like it could very well be coming back up to cross this and maybe start retesting these other levels up here. But I'm going to take all this stuff off right now. In fact, I'm just going to redraw the chart. Better yet. So here's my chart. Here's my 15-minute blue line. We're going to mark that. The blue lines are probably the most significant ones. They usually give us the most strength to get through. But if it gets through it, then that usually gives, it's good support and it's strong resistance. And we're at 91.65 is the number we're looking at here. 91.65. I'm gonna lock that. And we have our green line up top. right now we're kind of in between here because it's coming in from the low to the high. So right now we're still inside this zone right here. But if it can break through here, then we're gonna be looking at up to the green zone. But you can see where it came down, bounced, coming up here, it's retesting, it bounced over here to the left. So right now it's going sideways inside this blue to the red zone. So I'm gonna mark the red zone, use that for the playground until we get a break above the blue area, the blue 15. So it should be 15 red, like that. Go to our 5-minute chart and see what we have on our 5-minute chart. Put the fibs on. These are our two 5-minute lines. Here's the red and here's the green. Who's up here? Let's see where it's. There we go. This is a green, 5-minute green templates. And we'll make sure that's locked. Well, here's our playground right now. We're looking between this blue and the red zone. Right now, I'm looking to see with the Swiss franc being, excuse me, with the dollar being stronger to the Swiss. I'm kind of looking to see if this thing's going to break through here, and then we would be looking at a price action of coming on up.
Al, quick question for you. Are
Yes.
we looking for a long if the 5-minute closes below the red line?
If the 5-minute closes below the red line,
Are we looking to take a long at that point?
no. If the 5-minute close, if it comes back in between this, below this line,
Yeah.
if it closes below the red line, we're looking to go short to the green one. Right now, I'm primarily looking. Right now, with the U.S. dollar being strong to the Swiss, I only want to take it long because at this point, because right now I'm showing strength of the dollar, so I want to have that strength, but I can't take it long until it closes. So I get a 5-minute close above the blue line, and then have it retrace back to the blue line, and then I can use my target of, let's see, is this the 785 to, now this is another green line. So we have two more lines in between here on the 2-minute chart. We go to the 2-minute chart here, and I'll show you where those are. So here's our blue line, and this is our 2-minute. This is a 7 pip area right in here. Should be 7 pips, 66 to 72. Yep. So basically, what I want to do is I want to see a 5-minute close. I want to see a retrace back to the blue line, and then I've got my target 1, which is the green line. Then target 2. And keep in mind that if it comes up to the green line, it could very well come back and give us another. If I get in here, I'm taking my profit here. If it pulls back again, I'm going to take it again. My profit's going to be here. If it goes on up to this one, so in other words, if it comes down here and let's say it goes on up to the red line, then I wait for it to pull back to the green line, enter my trade, and then my profit is the red line, and just kind of keep bouncing back and forth. Take 7 pips each time. So if I get in, if it gets in here and I get in here, that's 1. Then if it comes back, that's my second trade, second profit at the 5. If it pulls back again, I get my second profit. If let's say it goes on up to the red line, I wait for the pullback to the green line. So it'd be, this is my first entry, first profit, second entry, second profit. Comes back up here, third entry, third profit, and then I'd be pretty much done with that.
So I guess the expectation is that if it does close below the red line, that it's highly likely that the momentum is changing.
Exactly. If it closes below, if we go back to our 5-minute chart, and if it closes below the red line, this RCS, our Hercules, should be saying that the Swiss is stronger than the dollar. If it doesn't, if the dollar is still strong back at the red line, now if it's strong at, here's the thing here. If for some reason it comes back and closes below the red line and the dollar is still showing strength, you still want to wait for it to cross above the red line before you'd still take it long. Okay. Now, the only way I would take it long down here is if it crosses, if it passes and checks as it passes, come down. It may close below. If the dollar is still strong, I can't take it. If it closes above, then I can take it. I don't want to take it long unless it closes above the red line with the Hercules tool showing the strength of at least a 3-point spread on the dollar Swiss. So right now you can see as this thing's pulling back, the Swiss is actually getting stronger because this was like a 5-0 spread. Now it's a 2-1 spread. By the time it gets down here, the Swiss is probably going to be showing more strength as it is over here. So right now this is a pullback coming into this. We never got the close above, so we can't go long. And right now we can't go long either until it comes back and gives us a pullback, close above, and then we can take it to the blue line. Okay. So in other words, right now, what I would be looking at, since it didn't close above the blue, I would not be in a big hurry to take it short, even though it looks like it, because we don't have the strength. Ultimately, we don't have the strength on our side. The dollar is still showing strength on the 15-minute, which tells me this is really just a pullback. If you took this thing short in here, it would be a contra trend trade. You'd be taking it contra to the strength. Okay.
It looks like the Swiss is stronger, but don't forget that, guys. That's just the 1 minute. That flips back and forth.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. So right now, the Swiss is gaining strength to the dollar. It's on a pullback. You don't know. I mean, right now, if we were to get in right here, that's 91.56, 56.46. I mean, this is a 12 pip move if it comes down here, but the strength is really you have your higher time frame. In this case, the 15-minute is still showing that it's just a pullback with the dollar just giving up a little bit of strong move up. We're having a small pullback. And then I would be looking at this thing coming back into maybe retest. In fact, I'd be more apt to say if it gets into, since we had the close above here, target 1, target 2, it didn't make the next 3. If it pulls back to the green line, this green line, and the strength of the dollar shows that its strength at this line, then you could come back and take this thing, because now your move on this is going to be, this is where I was saying you had to close above. It hit that target. You could take it. They never did come back to retest that. But if it comes back, but it hit the red line, did not hit the blue, but hit the red line. So it's back to hit the red line. If it comes back to the green line, let me just do this again. If it comes back to the green line, then you could take it to the red line again. So here's the red. So there's a red line. So now you can take it. You're good to take it down along in here, and then using this to be the target, and that would be the next target. So right now, this is the scenario where we can be looking at. This would be got the red, pulling back to the green. But I still want to see if it comes back to this green line, and if the 5 minute is showing a 3-point spread or more, I can take this trade at the green line. My guess is when it gets down to this green line, these are not going to give me that spread that I'm looking for. So therefore, I cannot take the trade. Now, it could come back down to the red line, give us our spread. Then I could take it long as it closes above the red line. Hopefully that answers that question.
I've answered it for me. I'm assuming Patrick is good.
Let's see what we have here to see if anything else. We have the cat Swiss. How's that doing here? Okay, so we did get into this trade. It did trigger our trade. We still do not have a close below the green line, so that's good. So right now, here where the 2 is, so this has been triggered. Now my profit is, let me go to my 2-minute chart here, my 1-minute chart. So we had the green line, came back down, triggered my trade. I'm in the trade, a little bit of a pullback. And my target's going to be up. Now, see if I got into this trade here at 72.56, I'm still looking for a 7-pip target on this. So that's only showing 3. Let's put this one to 7. Put this one to 15. That's difference there is because of the fill. And modify that. It looks a lot bigger on the 1-minute chart, but that's what it is. Now, if it comes back up to the green line and can't get through there, then I'll just take the profit. Even if it's only 3 pips, I'll take the profit. Now we see on the 1-minute chart, these things did flip over. Right now it's showing that on the 1 minute, the Swiss franc is stronger. Let's see, move this out of the way here. 5-minute chart. We had the pullback, we had the fill. And on the 5-minute, we still have our 3-point spread. Our CAD and Swiss are still a 3-point spread on the 5-minute. Still good to take the trade. So I took the trade. Now we're looking for a target. Here's our target, next target. I have my tools here. Just don't have the flexibility on my laptop as I do at my home station. Constantly looking to move things around so I can grab them here.
I do have another question for you, though, Al, on this one from Patrick. He says, if we still think it's a long, can you open a new position below the green line?
Below the green line, I try not to take it. Well, I would say this. I would use the limitation is that if it's between the green line and the 2-minute, which is the 7 pips below, let me mark that up. That's a good question, Patrick. I will usually allow it to go 7 pips under the line before I take the trade. Let me show you this here. Where's how can I get my tool out here? It's buried behind this. There it is. Here we go. So here's our 7 pip. This is our 2-minute line right here. Let's say 2-minute red. So if on the initial entry, when we were talking about this on the initial entry, I say we come back to the green line. I will oftentimes allow myself to take the trade anywhere between here and here. If it pulled back to if I got in this trade right here, which I did, and if it pulls back to the red line, and I start seeing the 1 minute start flipping back over where the Canadian dollar start getting to be stronger again, I would go ahead and take that trade, take a second position. That would dollar cost average my position to be right here rather than being, I say, up here at 72.56. If I could get in here at 72.46, that would give me a 5 pip better position overall, and my break even would be halfway in between. So, but right now, I would still, at this point, I would still be waiting for this to get back to where the Canadian dollar was getting to be strong again. I do believe this is still just a pullback. It is retesting this area right here, and our stop is still way down below. Ideally, I like having a stop, at least having a couple barriers here. Just keep it below that line, just enough to so it doesn't just grab it. I'm still not going to let it, generally, I'm not going to wait for it to get all the way back down here. If it comes down here, closes below this red line and still showing strength, then I'll bail on this trade, wait for it to maybe come down here, maybe take another position, a better position down here. But right now, everything's still looking good. But anywhere between this green, the 7 pip area right in here, I consider it to be an okay place to take the trade long if, and only if, you still have some confirmation that the 1 minute, let me see if I can move this here. Oh, man. So inside this area here, I would still be willing to take it, but I want to make sure that I'm starting to get the week. I like to start seeing these things start changing over. Because right now, this thing's showing that the Swiss is still strong. It's on the 1 minute chart, so I expect that on the pullback that these things are going to flip in the wrong direction you don't want them to be. But as long as they start getting close, and you'll start seeing this one start angling up, maybe start seeing this one angling down, go back to your 5 minute chart, and if you have that confirmation on the 5 minute where the CAD's still stronger, then you're okay to re-enter that trade. But right now, I'm just looking at this as just a pullback. I'm not too worried about it right now. We still have the strength on the 15. We still have a nice spread. We have a 4-point spread on the 15-minute chart. And now you see this on the 1 minute starting to come back up. And remember, we have that CPI report at 8:30. So let's mark that on the calendar, on the chart here. I'll mark it at 8:28-ish. And we'll mark this as news. Gives a couple minute head start on that one. And I said you have two choices. A lot of times, once I'm in a trade, I just like to look at it at a 5 minute chart, so I don't get too emotionally tied to the trade. The other thing you can do is mark this at, like right now, the candle, we're at 8 o'clock. The 5 minute candle just closed above right here. So that's a valid entry on that. It came back down, closed above. We have a 5 minute candle closed. If you look where we are on 5 minute chart, you'll see that that 5 minute candle did close. And again, it validates the trade. And we're also probably starting to see the CAD is now getting stronger here on the 1 minute. Nice spread here on the 5, nice spread on this and so right now this is a nice little trade coming in. We didn't get the best fill in the world on this one because the spread's still 2.3 spread. We did not get a great fill on that. And I think I did a limit order on that, but that's still where it got filled. We did take a little bit of heat, but again, we were still well above this area, still within our target to be taking it. And like I said, I usually allow to have it go 7 pips against me. I don't get too concerned about that, especially if I'm getting the strong spread here on the 15. That's still giving me that confidence that the thing is just a pullback as opposed to a reversal. And let's see what else we have here. And just a reminder, it will be helpful if you put the questions in the question answer box as opposed to chat. I can't really see, if I can't really look at either one of them without blocking your view on my screen here. So I'm kind of relying on Eva to keep on top of that for me, which she does a great job.
Well, thank you, Al.
Well, you do. And so right now, again, like a lot of times I'll track this thing on a 1 minute if I choose to, but this way I'll just move this vertical line over to 805. And let's see, what do we got here? I just use this as a reference.
Patrick is asking how it's going with the U.S. Swiss.
U.S. Swiss?
Yeah.
U.S. Swiss, what do we do with that U.S. Swiss? Well, we got in, we took the trade. What did we do? We did take that long, I believe, didn't we?
I think you did, Jess. I think it triggered you.
I probably already have my profit on that. I'm not seeing it here, so I'm thinking I don't know where I would have gotten stopped out on it. I think I just set my profit. Let's see. I think I did. Let's see if I can find it. Everything's always in the wrong spot on here. This is the Zoom thing. There you go.
Oh, no, it's cat. Oh, there.
Account history. Yeah, we took this was this one.
Oh, that was the Euro US. So maybe you didn't enter it.
Yeah, that might have been yesterday. That was yesterday. Today's the 18th.
Okay, yeah. So check your orders there, Al. It says orders, 2 of them.
Still in there.
Yeah, they're okay. No,
Working.
It's only the CAD Swiss.
Okay, yeah, I guess it hasn't filled yet. But why am I not seeing it? Oh, that's U.S. Swiss. I was looking at. Yeah, that's right. It's CAD Swiss.
CAD Swiss, yeah. Patrick wanted you to check the U.S. Swiss to see how it was.
Okay, all right. Let's check the U.S. Swiss. We can do that. See if, come on, where it is. Well, the U.S. Swiss it did have the pullback right here. Did it get in down to 2? It got within the spread, I believe. Let's see, 91.44, and the lowest point on that candle is 91.48. That's a 4-point spread right there. So it may not have gotten filled yet. It may not be. You may not be filled yet on that, and depending on how you did that. Right now, and that's possible you won't get refilled. Let's see if it goes, and if you get a U.S. We want the U.S. strength. Let's just see where the U.S. is right now. Correlator. Where's my correlator tab? There it is. U.S. is showing weakness. I'd be real careful. Right now we still have on the 30-minute, we still have it just dropped to a 2-point spread here. I would not take the trade at this point because we don't have the spread on the U.S. Swiss. I'd still be waiting for it to come down. But if it comes down and you look and see where the Swiss is now stronger, don't take the trade. Now at this point, if it comes down, we reverse this here again. This is where you have to be really stay flexible with what you're looking at. If this switches over, and now we have the strength that closes below the red line, and we have the Swiss with a 3-point spread, that we have a potential reversal there. In which case, I would be looking at it may come down into you got two zones here. You got this one, And then you have another one, a green one down here. I'm just eyeballing these right now. These are our 2-minute lines. So now if it comes down, closes below the red line, because remember saying right now it's just going sideways in between this blue and the red down below. It's just going sideways. And it's already in the upper 25% pretty much. When it came up here, it was up in the upper 25% of this whole range. So right now, it could very well be just coming back down, and it could give us a retest to break through here. Get the strong move down, get the close below, come back, retest, target 1, target 2, target 3. But again, we can't take it unless it comes down, closes below on the 5-minute chart, comes back up, retest this, and we have the spread that we're looking for. In this case, the Swiss would be a 3-0 or 4-1 or something like that. Somewhere we have a 3-point spread on that when it pulls back to the red line. But first it has to close below the red. We got to get the close below there. Now, if it comes back and just tags it, and we still have the US dollar spread on here, then we can take it long again. But this will keep us in the right direction. And if the spread isn't there, you don't have any direction. You're gambling. So we have 2 scenarios. One, it comes down, breaks, closes, goes back to the 2, target 1, 2, 3, or the other option, possibility, and you got to keep both options open. You had the strong move up. It's coming down to retest where the 2 is. It's still going to be the same 2. Then our target 1, target 2, target 3, possibly get a break above here and then keep on going. If we look at our moving averages, are probably pretty well consolidated, I'm going to guess. Right now, you don't have any right now, it's still favoring a pullback with a bounce to go up higher. I would say still the moving averages are still favoring that. We've got the 62 sitting right here at where the 2 is. And I would expect to may get a bounce off of that. I think the more likely scenario is going to be it's going to come down, bounce, and then retest this high up here. Right now, it's pretty much trading inside this range right in here, which is actually 21 pip range. Okay. How's our Swiss trade doing? Yep, still fighting it a little bit. And we have our news announcement out here at 8:30. Speaking of news announcements, I've got some good news for you and some bad news for you. The good news is the AP Auvoria Prime Live is going to go live on Monday. That's the good news. That means we're going to get our new formats. We're going to have, and I will be in this session is going to be in the AP Live channels, which is, the good news is that I will be able to show my charts a variety of times during the day as I choose to. We're still going to be doing the 7:30 to 9 o'clock sessions, but I'm also going to be able to have just have it open to where I can be at the computer. I can have my charts open. I can just be showing you my charts as we go along. That's the good news. The bad news is that you're going to now have to start paying to be able to get into this trade room. So here's the way it's going to work is that today, Thursday and Friday, we're going to be doing just what we were doing in the same Zoom room like we have been all along. Come Saturday, when it comes time to where you can choose your what product you want to use your license for, you would have to do you could just change whatever. If you only have one license, you'd have to change it before, I think it's 11:59 on Saturday. You have to make the switch.
It's Friday. It's Friday. I
The
learned
Friday
that
11:59.
It's got to be done Friday by midnight in order for it to take effect.
So you have to make the switch by Friday midnight. So you have to switch to the Hawkeye session, and that way you would be in a room with the new format on Monday. Or you could buy another license and have whatever you're using now. You could also use that for, let's say you had Gearbox on one of them, you could use Gearbox and have the second license for this room if you choose to. And you can switch them back and forth every week as you choose to. But in order to get into this room on Monday, you'll need to make that switch or buy that extra subscription fee. And that's what we have.
Sunita is saying, can you repeat? When do we go live again? Well, you explained it better than I can, Al.
Okay.
Go
Again,
live next Monday.
For today, Thursday, and Friday, everything's going to be just as it has been. You'll get in the same room, the Zoom room, just as we are today. After Friday at 11:59 p.m., you say, Eva?
It's got to be right before last 11:59 p.m. on Friday night, right before midnight. You have to make the switch. I learned that this past weekend. I didn't make the switch until the weekend, and now I have to wait. So it's got to be done Friday so that it can be in effect by the time things go live on Monday, I guess, because of what they do with the VPS and all that stuff on the weekend.
Yeah. So basically after 11:59, after basically 1 minute before midnight on Friday, you have to make the switch. So for example, if you have one subscription and you're using one of the other products, right now you're being able to just get into this room for free all along here, I believe. Just as if you were a part of Auvoria Prime, you got to use this room because it's this is what I call the unsecured Zoom room, so to speak. But after starting on Monday, what's the date? Monday, the 23rd, I think. We're going to be into the Auvoria Prime Live. It's going to be a lot like a Zoom room, but it's going to be a little bit different format. Now, at 4 o'clock today, they're going to actually, Auvoria Prime is going to announce that today at 4 o'clock. They're going to have a webinar. In fact, I'll be doing a presentation on that webinar at 4 o'clock. And let me see if I can put that in the chat box here. I may have to.
Thanks, guys. A lot of nice comments in the chat. Sean, I'm happy to pay for the value. Worth every penny, Patrick. Leslie, I guess that shows the value of Warrior Prime Casino, what you offer. Thanks, guys. So nice of you to say.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Al, you may want to also mention the indicator piece of this as well.
Well,
will the indicators be available at that time too?
No, unfortunately, that is not. They're not ready. And here's where the problem with the indicators are: is that in order for Auvoria Prime has all their access going through their VPS, so they have the security of not just the products, but also of people hacking it and everything else. They're working. The glitch right now is our indicators are pretty much used on TradingView. And in order to get the TradingView platform secured into the Auvoria Prime's VPS, it's just taking some programming gymnastics in order to make that happen. And that hasn't happened yet. Now we're working on a backdoor. I'm going to be talking to the developers and see if we can make these indicators working on MT4. The MT4 platform is a lot easier to transition into the Auvoria Prime's VPS. And so we got to get with them to reprogram it for MT4, which is shouldn't be real hard if we can get them to, if they can find the time to do it. But right now, the best thing we have to offer is that I will keep on showing the levels. For example, as I show these levels here for today on the CAD Swiss, if you're in the room, you'll see that the blue line is at 72.74. The red line is at 72.46. You just draw your blue line, your red line, and divide that by 3, and that'll give you your 5-minute lines. And then you take those 5-minute lines and divide that by 3, that gives you your 2-minute lines. So if I just give you your, if we're on the cat Swiss and say, okay, the blue 15 is at 72.74, mark it on your chart. And I say that the red 15 is at 72.46. And then if you can actually just take your Fibonacci tool and just draw it. And you can break that down into thirds, and I'll give you your 3 lines. And actually what I pretty much did was I actually just did that here, I think, is that I drew the tool. Where is it? What did I do with it? Let me take this thing off here. So go to my 50-minute chart. We're just going to do this here. Let's see if we can pull this up. I hate this. There we go. Go to my 15-minute chart. And we're going to put the lines up. And you can see this is my 15-minute fib, 72.94. And if there's a pair that you want to look at that you want the lines, so just let me know and I'll just draw them out for you. I'll just put them out.
Eden's talking about gold right now.
We can do gold here.
I'm
94.
asking him what time frame he's looking at.
Oh, with gold, I'll tell you, with gold, I've been more comfortable with the 1 hour rather than the 15-minute. And I can draw those. I'll draw that up for you here. It's just a second.
But then you have to have a bigger account size, right?
Well, with gold, I mean, gold is, you need a few dollars in the account. I will not be trading gold with a $500 account. Let's just say that. Not
even 1,000. 1,000 is not even good enough because it fluctuates too much. I mean, if you have another trade going, gold can totally wipe you out. Like if you have a small account. So.
Okay, so now I want to be able to break these. You got the numbers. I want to break these up into thirds. So if I come over here. And what I did with this Fibonacci, I just entered it up here. I'm just going to bring it on down to, let's see. Now the settings I have, I wouldn't worry about the colors. You can change the colors as you want, but that just gives you the levels. And you always know that the red is below the blue is below the green is below the red, and then you've got it's blue, green, red. Now these colors aren't the right colors, but what it is, I just do a regular Fibonacci, and I just use the settings of the 1, a 0.5, a 0, and then a minus 0.5. And then I just anchored it up here, and I drew it down to where I got the bottom number on the bottom number. And that gives you your top third, middle third, and bottom third. And then just change the colors as you need to. And I have different Fibonacci's that are different colors, I believe. Let's see if I can find that here. Green to blue. Nope, that's not it. But anyway, the bottom line is that you find these zones, divide it by 3, find out where those thirds are, mark them, mark where the third is. You get the right, you get the right line here. Put that on the blue, and then divide this by thirds. Here's the top third, middle third, bottom third. And then just do the same thing again. We go to your 2-minute chart. And then you can divide these by thirds. This is not being a very clear demonstration of it. What happened to my awesome 15-minute? That's why. Oh, it was on the 1 minute. If you're in the room, we'll make sure we'll get you these numbers that you need. I lost my chart here. Let's scoot it over a little bit more.
A question from Sunita. Sunita, just for the whole room, is asking is there going to be a Word document to explain all the settings, etc. If you're talking about the trade plan, yes, it's still in compliance and we're waiting for that to be approved by Mariska. But if it's another type of settings for something else, you'll have to expand so that I know what you mean.
Yeah, actually, the trade plan actually has been approved. I just need to get a hold of Brian and find out what he did with it, and I'll get it to you. Hopefully, I'll have that available to you Monday morning in the trade room.
Okay, so Sean is asking.
You take this divided by 3, then take those thirds divided by 3, and that'll give you your zones. Now, they will change a little bit as you go to further extremes, but it's still going to be close enough to get you kind of in the ballpark. Okay.
Now, Sean is asking, can you give us a peek at your 1/3 settings / numbers on TradingView fib indicator? I guess he's using TradingView.
What numbers is he looking for?
I think where you're putting like between the 15-minute, Sean, I hope I'm getting this properly, between the 15-minute, how you get the 1/3. Is that what you're looking at? That, oh, that's easy enough to do, by the way. You're just going to draw a fib between the 15-minute blue and the 15-minute red, and you're going to use settings 0, 33, 66, and 100, and that's it.
Yeah, that would do it.
And then that way it'll divide it. And that way it'll divide it in thirds for you.
Here, let me just do it here real quick. Here's your Fibonacci tool. Come up here, go to your settings, style. Let's see, that's a horizontal line. Wrong one. Settings, and then you style. And if you go to, okay, let me just see if I can do this. Actually, I might have one set here, but we go 0 to 1, and then we're going to do, uncheck that one. We're going to call this one 66. And we're going to call this one 3333. And that's so that should be the thirds.
Yeah. That's all.
And then you go with
take the 05 off and stuff.
I gotta find my this thing just always gets in the way.
Sorry,
take the 05. You have to take the 05.
I keep doing that. My apologies. It's hard to see.
This thing just drives me crazy.
Names are just so unisex nowadays. Even the spelling of them. I know male Sean spelt this way. My apologies.
Okay, there we go. So now we have, here's the, and then you can just set the color as you want. So here's your upper third, middle third, bottom third. And so there's your lines. And then if you get your, so this would be, basically this would be a red 5. And what's nice about the chart just does it all for you. And once we get these things, it'll be a package deal for the, so there's the red 5. So now you can take this and you can go from here to here. And there's your 2-minute lines. That'd be a 2-minute red. This would be a 2-minute green. And really what the color is isn't real significant, but it does help keep you knowing which side of where you are on the curve, so to speak. This would be 2-minute green. And then you could take your Fibonacci's off. And you've got your 5 and your breakdown there. Okay. It's just a little more cumbersome, but it can still be done. Now, there was a question about gold. Let's take a look at gold real quick before we get. Actually, we're coming into that CPI report too, so let's be aware of that. How's my trade doing here? That's not doing so great. So we have the Canadian dollar switch. We're on the 15. Now the CAD is getting stronger on the. Actually, CAD's still strong by 3, so we're still long on this trade. So we're still good there. And the CAD's still strong here. It's not, we don't have the spread that we like, but we're still okay. Again, I'm looking at this as just being a pullback. If I draw the Fibonacci, my standard Fibonacci, let's see here. It's right now basically from this move up, coming down. We're really at the 50% retracement of this move, which is a very typical retracement area. So again, I'm not really too worried about it. And so we're still good there. Let's go back to gold. I want to draw those out for you for, let's see, gold. We got another chart up here. Here's gold. I'll go to the 15-minute charts. And with the gold, I said a lot of times if I use the 15-minute Fibonacci's, they're really kind of tight. I like to come over here and use the 1-hour one. And in this case, the 1 hour is going to be, make sure I got this. Where's my settings here? Here's my green, here's my blue. Move that out of the way. Here's my green one. This is actually 1 hour green. I'm going to make it, just change that to 1 hour on that. That's at 1797.57. 97.57. And then the blue line is at, keep moving this away. Blue line is 1779 and 11. That'd be your blue line. And then, so that's and then your 15-minute lines would actually be the thirds in between that. And if you want to extend that out, you just take your fib tool, measure between here, slide it on up. Then you're going to find your red line is going to be pretty close to right where this. What I didn't have it exact, but your red 1 hour line is going to be right here at the 1816.03.
Actually, yeah. We just got a notification from Sean that the CAD Swiss almost hit profit with the news.
Oh,
yeah, the CAD news came out 2 minutes ago.
Oh my, thank you. Yeah, I got this. That's what happened. I get distracted here. Just, yeah, didn't quite make it, did it? Though, did it? Didn't quite hit my target.
Hmm.
Rumba.
So what would you do in a case like this? Stay in it, do you think?
Yeah, right now I'd probably just stay in it. Yeah. It still may work its way back up there again. That's still a pretty strong candle. So, and everything else is still showing the CAD is strong here. CAD is first currency of the pair. So we've got a nice 5-point spread here. We have a 5-point spread on the 1 minute, and we have a 6-point spread on the 15. So I see no reason why that's not going to come up and hit our target on that. Not saying that it will, but I think the odds are in our favor. Okay, let's see. Let's see what we're talking about the gold here. Did I answer the questions about the lines on the gold?
Lines on gold.
Well, someone was asking about the fib lines for the gold, and I used the 1 hour. So these are basically 1 hour lines.
Okay.
So I said, hopefully everybody that's in here will come and join us on Monday. I'd like to think that will be the case. One thing about the Hawkeye room is we're teaching you how to trade. We're teaching you the technical analysis. We're teaching you the mental analysis. And we're also giving you a community to be able to bounce ideas off, ask questions, and to just basically learn. And I like to think that we're taking enough trades, winning enough trades during our sessions here, even for this hour and a half, which will cover your expenses for the subscription fees. And if you're just trading in demo, just look at it as your education fees to take. Like you take a college class, you spend a fee to learn a skill. You're just learning a skill, and that's what our goal is here in the Hawkeye session: is to teach you how to trade and to teach you that skill, and to give you some. We will teach you how to fish, but we also give you a fish to try to help offset your expenses. So, but here's right now, if I were looking at gold right now, and these are our, let me just change this. See if I can tweak that up here.
Awesome, man. Thank you, and saying Hawkeye offers best details of trading of any AP program. And switching from Arrow to Hawkeye. Yeah, that's always been our mandate. It's not just helping you guys get the odd good trade while we're live, but to teach you how to do it when we're not together, which is the only way to go, really. Al and I could get hit by a bus tomorrow. So as horrible as that sounds, so it'd be nice if you knew how to do it on your own. And
that's right, exactly right.
Truly how you're going to be able to.
As they say, life can be short. Now, one thing that one of my mentors, Steve Greger, would always say at the end, he says, life can be short. Remember those that you know and love. Remember to tell them that you love them. And we love you, and that's how we always signed off. Hopefully he'll be back trading with us again. He's got some health issues going on right now, but hopefully he'll be back. So right now, if you're looking at the gold, for example, I'm on a, now these are marked 15, but they're really, let me see if I can trade these real quick. Text, this is a 1 hour. Oops. So let's try and do something different. 1 hour. Green. Okay, there you go. There's 1 hour green. Dealing with gold right now. How's our Swiss trade? Did we hit a profit yet?
I don't know.
It's hard for me to trade live when I'm trying to maneuver my laptop and trying to show everybody what we're doing here.
Patrick says it should be in profit. I didn't take the trade myself, so
These things just get in the way all the time here.
yeah.
Settings, here we go. There we go. And then these are our 15-minute lines right here.
He says his entry is at 1789.4 on gold.
1789 to go long.
By the looks of it, yeah.
1789.
Going short, not long.
Going short.
Yeah.
1789 short. That's coming right up here. I don't have anything with the RCS tool for gold to tell, in fact, the dollar, see where the dollar is. That's the only thing I have to gain with that.
I guess in reality, that's all you really need because it's extremes with gold, right?
Yeah, see where the
strong or it's weak.
See where the dollar is. Style. This thing should give us the dollar here. Let me see if it does. At least give us a relative. It may not, since it's not a pair.
You can just look on your.
Yeah, we got them all here.
Up.
Now they all popped up here.
It's right in the middle.
Oh. Settings. Scale. Get your labels. Your labels down here. That'll get. Right now, the dollar is the number 4 of the 8. So dollar is somewhat. It's kind of in the middle there.
You've got a big square over top of your chart, Al. That big.
What was the question? What was that?
Your gray rectangle was over top of your chart. I didn't see that yesterday. I wonder why it's showing up.
Well, I'm trying. But what happens is it covers up my tools, my drawing tools.
Oh.
And so I had to move it out of the way so I could see my drawing tools. Let's see. Would I go short on this? I don't know that I'd go either way on that right now. Here's our 15-minute. It did bounce off of this at 91. Let's see what it looks like on the 1-minute chart. But before I do that, let me see how my cat Swiss trade's doing. Oh, pulled back up again. So right now it's still fighting. It's still bouncing around. Let's go to our 5-minute gold. Bouncing off a blue line, that's kind of strong. Our moving averages are still going in the upper direction. If I were taking this thing short, it'd be a contra-trend trade in my mind. Kind of like it better to the upside. And let's see, where's the bottom? Here's a trend. I'd be looking at this trend line right in here. There's a low, pivot low. There's a higher low. Right now, I'd say it's somewhat range bound. There's a high. This is not one of my, gold is not one of my fortes. We do have a nice little strong move up with a little bit of a wedge developing here. This is an engulfing candle. This red candle right here is an engulfing of that blue candle. Right now, I'd be looking at that straight inside this little wedge right here. Let me get on my 1 minute chart here. Just trying to get a little bit of a breakdown here. We do have these moving averages on this right now. Right now, this is a 62 moving average. There's a consolidation going on right now. And I would be looking, if it did take it short, I'd probably want to I'd want to see a little bit of a confirmation on this. Down, test, retest, and then maybe come down to that way. That might be, if I were to take it short, that's probably what I would be looking at right now. We are getting a break of this pivot. We have this encompassing candle here where the AB line is. We did get a close below that, so I can see where it is somewhat contra trend, but you are getting a nice little wedge in here. Yeah, I mean, if it breaks, I mean, it depends how much you want to go for on this one, but I'm not a big fan of short on this.
Eden's profit is at 1784.
1784, that's the way down here.
The profit is.
This is Eden. Eden's been doing really good with his. I'm gonna have to pick his brain and see what he's looking at and how he's doing this. But
I already asked him that. He's not told me yet. I'm way ahead of you.
Let's just say I would not want to try and talk him out of this trade because he's been doing really well with the gold. And this is a nice little drop base. Yeah, this thing could go. Yeah, this thing's probably going to go short. It's breaking out the wedge. We have a nice strong move down, drop, base drop, and here it goes. I'd be looking at probably this line right here for a target. That's 86. He's looking at 84, you say?
Where is it now? 1784.
Okay, I've got a blue line at 1785. And 1784 is going to be right below this. Move this trend line here up that way. Yeah, I can see that. We're getting a nice little bounce off of that. Move this out of the way here. We have the cross of the moving average on that. Let's see what the moving averages are on the 5 minute. Now, these moving averages are still kind of going in the opposite direction. I would say if it does get down to 84, that's the contra trend trade. We are getting a bounce off the 62. We're getting a bounce off the 30 minute 62, which is a blue line. I would say I would feel better if it broke through that and maybe retest. And we do have this green line right here. I'd be looking at this green line probably for a reference for myself, especially if I was using 1784. I'd be looking for I said, I'm not going to second guess Eden. He's been trading gold probably more than I have and been very successful with it. There's a nice move down. Let's see, here's our red fib line. Here's our red fib line right up here. It is coming out of this upper 25% zone. Here's the blue, here's the red, here's the upper 25. Let me get my box out here. Oh, 25% red, we'll call that. And then this would be the blue. Had to close below this red line up here. That's about where his entry was at 89, he was saying. It's going to take a little bit of patience, I think, but it is on a pullback. You just know how it works out here, Eden. How's our US Swiss doing? Do we finally make our target on this? Well, that's US CAD Swiss. That's the one we're looking at. And then we're still about break even on this one still. Still optimistic. CAD's still strong. CAD's still strong over the Swiss. CAD's still strong on Swiss on all 3 time frames. You see, this was the announcement right now. And it was a bullish candle on the announcement, so it was optimistic. Came up here, took some profits, coming back down, pick up some more trades, and then I still think it's going to go on up. We have a nice little trend on this. There's our trend line. This one did make a higher high, did close higher. Right now, this thing's just building up and building a little bit of a wedge. We have another trend going on from, here's the channel that we're looking at. And here's the target where they intersect. So right now, this one's still working out okay. How's gold doing? Bouncing off the 88. Bouncing off our 30-minute 62. This blue line is basically, it's a 62 moving average reference to a 30-minute chart is what that is. This purple one is the exponential 62 reference to a 5-minute chart. Someone find that, let's see the chat box, let's see.
Your gray box is in front of your chart.
There we go. Yeah, I was just, I need to, let me see if I can change. I need to look for something here for everybody. You still see my charts, Eva?
Yes, yes, I can.
Good. I'm going to try and find something here.
We've got 6 minutes left in the session. Just so you.
Okay, yeah, I'm trying to get that message about the meeting today at 4 o'clock.
Oh,
With the link. That way people can listen to the announcement. Trying to find the link for that. Let's see. Actually, I think I sent it to you, I believe. Let's see if I can copy it off of yours.
It's in Telegram, is it not?
It's in the Telegram.
Actually, I've got it right here. I can get it.
You can, I don't know if, can you copy and paste it?
Yeah.
Can you copy and paste it in the chat box?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I'm doing. Yes.
Okay, yeah, put that in the chat box would be good.
Okay, it's in the chat box, guys.
This is a meeting today at 4 o'clock Eastern time. It's got a link there so that you can join in on the meeting to hear the launch of the AP Live. It looks like our CAD Swiss trade is working out. My fib line is here, or my target line. Let's put a 2-minute line on this one.
Oh, you're in good profit.
Here's a green line for the target. This is the 2-minute green right there. Is that right at the 2-minute green? I had my target up a little bit higher because of my entry that I had on it. So I was trying to get the 2-minute green right there, 2-minute red right up in here. Still showing strength on the CAD, 7 and 5 spread on the 5-minute. So right now we have a 7-2, 7-2, 6-2. Everything's still looking good for my target up here. Coming up on the hour, this candle is going to, in another 3 minutes, the 1 hour candle is going to close. Moving averages are good there. And moving averages are good on the 5-minute, and I see where they are on the 15. This little push up, it's coming right up to where that candle on that announcement came, right up to that. It may find some sellers in there, so really, if it gets right up into that, if it doesn't get too close, if it's a little bit more, and I'm out of the trade. We have 2 minutes left. Any last minute questions or comments? Actually, that trade worked out okay. It took a little while for it to develop, but it was there.
Patrick is asking, I'm sorry, you may have answered this already. The CAD Swiss is target 2 at the red line, or just 7 pips more?
Well, actually target 1 was actually the green line. Target 2 will be the red line. Now I had my target a little bit in between the two because my fill was so bad. The green line would have given me like about 3 pips. So basically, I think I got about 5 or 6 pips out of this one. But the red line, now I would not look at the spread here. We have a 2.4 spread. So I would say if you're profitable, and see, here's what I'm looking. One thing I'm looking at with this one is when we had that announcement, we had this strong candle up, and it came right at this point is where the sellers came in and took it back down again. So there's some sell orders right up in this area. So with that in mind, if there's some sell orders in, we have some sell orders right up in this area, I'd be looking at taking, you see where this one came right on up, this one came right up, didn't really, went up a little bit higher than this one, but not much. So we're still kind of, so right now at the middle of this box right here, I would be looking at maybe, I wouldn't, with a spread like it is, I'd be really careful about having to pull back when you're too soon. This is the middle of the box right here at 72.64, which is basically halfway between the green line and here's the green line, here's the red line. You can see it came right up. It's not quite even halfway in between the two. The halfway mark, you'll probably start getting some sellers coming in right around the halfway mark, which is right around this 72.63 area. I mean, it's still showing the strength. So, I mean, it could still get up there, but you may get some more pullbacks before then. I just don't like giving up. When I'm that close to my profit target, I just take my profit off. Because my lot size is big enough to make it worth my while to just move on to the next trade. But right now, it's just still showing strength to the CAD. CAD's the first currency of the pair, still showing strength. And there's really good chance it's going to come up and probably you have this trend line that I drew here. And this is going to be an energy point right in this area, right in here is going to be an energy point. We have the horizontal line and the trend line all coming in together. And there's going to be people that are going to start taking the profits earlier before it gets there, which is one reason why it's having a little bit of a struggle right in this area. But it's still along. You can still, but you may get a little bit more. You may get another pullback. If you get another pullback back into this energy area, which is the trend line and the blue line, you can always take it. I can always take it back in again. So I could take it here. Now they're across the green line, my green fib line. Now I can take it when it pulls back to this area. I took my profit. I'll just wait for another entry in here. Target the green line again. This way, you're gonna have the opportunity of actually getting in 1 profit, 2 profit, 3 profit. And so if you can get 3 trades, 3 high lot size, low risk trades out of 1 move, that's about as good as I mean, that's better than getting a 100 pip move with a really small lot size, in my opinion. But it still has room to the upside. And with that, we're going to wrap this thing up. And any last minute questions, comments? Again, we appreciate every one of you.
Good to go. Nothing going on.
And you put that in the chat, you said?
Yes, I did. Everybody got that link?
I see
I can do it again. There it is again.
I see an okay with a hand, but I'm not seeing the.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking at the chat box and I'm not seeing.
Actually, I just put it in there again. Is it not showing up as a link? It's not blue.
Okay, well, the link is there. The APL, AuVoriaPrime.me alive launch. Yeah, that's the link. And that's going to be at 4 o'clock Eastern time. That's going to be a link to get into the.
So, yeah. So, I mean, you just copy that and put it into your browser for wherever you have it.
Okay, well, I hope to see you there this afternoon at 4 o'clock. Those of you who can make it. And again, thanks for coming in. Hopefully somebody made some money today. How's that gold trade going, real? Ooh, that's not good.
Whoa.
Hang in there. With that, everybody have a great day. Stay green, stay safe, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for being here.
Okay, see you guys tomorrow.